Calm down. No, you're
Can I
fine.
go now?
Yeah. Can you go? Can you go?
Yeah.
Good. Good. Rocket ship.
All right. So we're the Arcomedians, and this is our presentation. We decided we were going to do a walking robot, and after exhaustive 3P production preparation process, we decided on the perfect form would be scorpions, because scorpions are, just such a highly evolved creature. Then we found, of course, that Lego actually already made a scorpion, so we decided to go with that design. And but then we kind of modified it from there. So we started out with Spike, which is a Lego scorpion, and we modified it with some different features so they could actually function the way we wanted to do with the enhancements that we later added to it. And we wanted to build a better Spike, and this is our final design.
This is the starting Spike design.
This
is what Lego says when you're like, hey, you can build this out of the box, and you're like, okay, cool. And so you start with this, and it has a bunch of stuff on it, and you're like, so these claws, they don't function in any way, they just are there. And then these leg pieces, these also don't really function, they're just there. And so, and you see the sensor is actually kind of mounted, it's looking forward, and we thought that looking forward, maybe that's not what we wanted to do. And they've got the little sound sensor back here. So all right, we removed the claws and the extraneous legs. We repositioned the ultrasonic. We added a light sensor because the criteria for the class we had to use every sensor. And then we kept the tail, but we had to modify the tail because we have so much stuff going on over the robot. So we had to do a couple of different cam jobs so it would go up and over the top and then come down and touch. So when we turn it on, you guys will see it's not just like the Spike tail normally just kind of comes forward and hits. Well, ours has to go over everything and then touch down in front of the ultrasonic sensor. So I had to like push it off to the side, and I had to kind of like do a little jury rig thing, and this other guy ended up helping me for a little bit.
But what he means by I, of course, he means we.
We. We, sure. So we raised the height to get a little better object clearance, so if we were gonna like, throw some stuff down there, Spike would then be able to get over. Because previously, Spike actually kind of just dragged its butt and walked. And so we were like, all right, well, we can't have the robot dragging its butt around. So because of all the weight of the motors, we were like, oh man, this thing's so back heavy and he'd like do a burnout. So we had to add a wheel to compensate for the weight of everything towards the sort of like, it's not very centered mass. But
Okay, and through all these changes that we made to the original Spike, I think that the robot that we created is a lot more functional robot. Because again, the original one barely moved. It was actually quite boring. It looked cool, but it didn't really do much. And so I think with all the improvements we made, the different sensors we made, the programming we put on it, I think he turned out pretty darn neat.
Yeah. I'm probably going backwards here, but okay. I'm not sure what to say.
Joe?
Well, like he said, we added the wheel on the back to hold the tail up and the leg, making the legs longer and the tail make it walk pretty well. And the sound sensor and light sensor were added to the top. And those, you'll see the function when it walks, it'll stop, and then those are used to reactivate it, make it continue walking.
And so, anyway, we had to, sorry. What?
Just say what we did good.
Okay, well, what did work well was when we modified, Lindsay and I modified the legs on the Scorpion, and then when I was working with Damon and we were trying to figure out the programming,
Made the front legs more functional because they didn't really do anything on the original design. Now it kind of slides along on them.
Exactly. We did have one modification where we messed with the legs and we turned him on and he was doing something kind of lewd to the table. We fixed that.
Didn't have traction.
Didn't have traction. Yes,
Spike,
that's
a
what we're
girl
calling it.
Spike.
Yeah, it's a little lonely.
To hang out with. So, even robots need love.
They do. They do.
Yeah.
Joe, he kept us focused, and Lindsay, she seemed to have a lot of ideas on how to modify the robot. And for me, I just wanted to make sure that, you know, like a lot of us, we've had group work in the past, and so I just wanted to make sure that we were all on the same page, and that nobody started freaking out during the deadline. And Spencer, he likes, yeah. He likes to take things apart, and Lindsay and I like to put things
Yeah,
back
once someone
together
is
in a different
completed
way.
building something, I like to just take it apart.
And like I said, if it wasn't for Damon and his knowledge of how to program these things, it would have went a lot rougher.
Mhm.
All right, who wants to see the robot run? Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
All right.
Okay. So the programming is like super simple. The robot's got to run and then touch all the sensors, and each one of the sensors, like before the sensor is supposed to be used, there's a sound. Like before I'm supposed to say hello to the robot, it's going to say hello back to me, and then I'll say it, and then it'll keep moving. And then so it's basically just a bunch of wait for it commands. And so if we do this right. Alright, so goes forward, touches, the touch sends it back. It starts to go for a walk, and then it'll say something, hello! And then I talk back to the robot, right? And it's like, oh no, things are crazy, I should run away from this stuff. And then I say, goodbye, robot. It's gonna walk off the table, I'm just gonna let it. It's done. It's done.
Sounds pretty cool.
Okay.
I like the tail.
Any
Yeah, once we
question?
made it, I was like, there's no way we're not putting that on there.
Yeah, right.
Any question? Okay. Yep. Thank you.